Hey, Cam, thanks a lot for coming to school today.
No problem, Nate.
I promise to exercise and eat right.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
And I'll grow up to be big and strong like you.
Absolutely.
And play in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
And be drafted #1.
Maybe.
Become the starting quarterback of the Panthers.
Okay.
You can be my backup.
Excuse me?
And make Panthers fans forget about you.
What?
And become your mom's favorite player.
Whoa.
I'm just loosening my arm.
Paper boy, always bout that paper boy. If you ain't on your grind, then you flexing, you's a hater boy. Paper boy, always getting paper boy. If you ain't making money, then you ain't a money maker boy. Paper clip, yeah, I need a paper clip. I'm stacking up.
What's up, everybody? We are back here again in the Pick Glass Palladium. I think we named it last week.
That is the official name,
Yep.
Pick Glass Palladium.
Because we don't know how many sides there are in this room. So we are here in a sweltering 2,000 degrees Celsius, or 90 degrees, whatever works for everybody.
This is a hexagon.
Whatever.
You're
Six
still on
sides.
that?
Yeah, 6 sides.
Talking about the heat.
Six sides.
So we can.
Count the yeah. So whatever. We're back here once again at doing the Pick Glass podcast. Going. Let's see. Oh man, now there's so many more alphabet letters in this. All right. So
Yeah, not
ABC.
yeah, we have
ABC,
ABC. And then,
ABC.
yeah,
yeah. So here we go. Starting us off on my left, we got.
Andrew Parker.
There you go.
Your
And
boy.
to his right, I believe.
No,
To
that's
his
close
left.
God.
That is
It
that is
literally
not,
just following the way that I went.
that is not how the alphabet works.
I keep switching it up because I live in a mirrored
I
world.
think B comes before C.
All right.
Almost
in the
positive.
alphabet.
That too.
And I am Bryan McCormick. Over to across the table from me.
I am Chris Perkowski.
And
And I am Mike DeQuadro.
And we are the Pick Glass Podcast coming in with week 3 of Preseasonpalooza, a.k.a. Let's talk about this shit.
I like it.
So, guys, let's talk about some shit.
Shit from the South.
Shit from the
Well, first off, we'll start off with a little housekeeping.
There you go.
We got Bryan, as you may know from Movie Mayhem podcast. You actually just had Mikey on recently, didn't
I
you?
did. We just covered the Happy Time Murders. It was the most dull puppet movie I think we've seen. And
So I don't have to spend my money to go see it.
Do not wait till it comes out on. If you want to see some great bonus material, wait for that shit to come out on YouTube. And if you want to waste your time, do something else.
All right, sounds
Yeah.
good.
It's better than the Muppet movies, but not better
Whoa,
than Team
whoa!
America.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Eh.
Shut your mouth.
I didn't even see this movie, and I know that.
I don't like the Muppets, so that was a talking point in
Very
the
true.
episode.
Someone's got to have that opinion.
Well, I guess we're now making our cuts to the active roster today.
So, that's Bryan's Movie Mayhem podcast. You can
That's
check that out. Mikey and me have been streaming on Twitch.
Yep.
If you're interested in gaming streams, twitch.tv/dquat.
Dequat. Yep.
Okay. And twitch.tv/bullhammer. So you can check us out there.
We gotta start streaming together.
You don't play PlayStation. I don't
Well,
play PC.
Play some PC.
No, I'm okay.
Well,
I know.
let's-
And I guess
could
we
sh-
settled
we
that
could-
problem.
We can stream
I
some
don't want to
skate.
play some
we could-
fucking
we do
PowerPoint,
some
alright?
Skate 4.
You're
Skate 3.
fucking Clippy. I don't know what you're playing.
we can play Skate 4. Skate 3.
Yeah, we could.
See?
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
something we could
See?
do.
Something
I
we
don't
can
want
do.
it. Not with you.
Okay. And then coming in this week, doing us a huge favor, Chris Bukowski. Please tell the people what you've been up to.
Nothing much. Working. I don't have a podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Dr_Perk.
PhD
Or-
in thugonomics.
Yes, I do have that. Or you could find me at SUNY Old Westbury on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 5, taking classes.
Ooh, that's a hot ticket I hear.
Tell them you're a big Pick Glass podcast listener, and you'd be
And they'll
pleased
let
to
you-
have his autograph.
Tell them Chris sent you.
Tell it's the Perk Last.
The Perk Glass podcast. We should have made a sweet logo where it's like graffiti and it says like Perk Glass podcast
Yeah.
over our logo.
Well, we
Would've
have.
been fucking
We should
awesome.
talk to a
You have
graphic
no
designer.
affiliation with graffiti, but it would have been cool.
You know that stuff you never did, Chris.
Well, actually, I did take a semester learning graffiti when I was getting my PhD in thugonomics.
Oh damn.
And you love the
That's true.
NWO.
Absolutely.
So it would have been like, you know.
Is
And
that
the NWA.
At NWA,
that
it's real
too.
great.
is that a requirement for spinning chains, or is it not a requirement for spinning chains classes?
It's not a requirement, but I did take that in undergrad.
Good. I'm glad you were well versed in your studies.
Good man, proud of you. So yeah, let's get to some football talk.
Let's do it.
So I guess we have a little bit of current events to go over this week. It's honestly today was hectic. Most of the news broke today.
Yep.
earlier in the week, there was the one which was Odell Beckham signed his new contract. Long-term contract, nailed it down.
5 years, $95 million with 65 guaranteed.
Yeah. So I personally love the deal. I think it's...
Yeah, don't worry about it. It happens
Yeah,
all
that
the time.
It's my air freshener.
You'll get used to it.
So it's 5 years. So we've got him long-term. The money doesn't handicap us. Like, the cap is fine, so it allows us to keep re-signing a lot of this young foundation we've built. And
Yeah,
guys
like Collins and that's
Shepard.
about it.
Well, Shepard's coming out.
Shepard,
yeah. And, that top 10 pick, Eric Flowers.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we gotta hold on to
If
him.
we don't end up giving him $15 million.
The main thing, after all the rumors of, trading Beckham for picks, letting him walk,
Which, by the way, fuck Pat Leonard.
yeah, we got him 5 years, and you know why? Because
All right.
praise
the
Dave
one-
Gettleman, he actually re-signed
I
somebody.
know, to a big contract.
Of the one time we don't do Twitch live streaming, it's the most visual gimmick I think I've ever seen. Just Andrew and Chris dabbing and fucking throwing their
Yeah,
hands
it's
up.
a shame that people will never see that.
Just representing the hood so well.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. That was a perfect bit for an audio podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Shoving
amazing.
your phone right in the middle of the microphone.
Everyone's driving, so they're like, ah!
God damn it.
But yeah, no, I love the deal. Like we said, it builds around the foundation of the team. Allows us to sign a lot of these young guys, and
It shows that they're serious about, building for the future.
yeah. And fuck Pat Leonard, who was the guy who was putting out all that shit about Odell going to the Rams.
Oh,
that was total
I
crap.
thought it was Stu Leonard, the guy whose kid who died in the pool.
The guy who's
The guy who
Stu
owns
Leonard,
like
the supermarket.
Supermarket?
Stu Leonard.
Stu
Man,
Leonard.
they got some great apple cider donuts.
Really?
They have really
Yeah.
good food there in general.
Yeah.
A
I
little
guess I gotta
overpriced.
go check out his
Oh,
store.
It's
yeah.
in Farmingdale.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Stu Leonard's in Farmingdale.
It's in
His kid
Airport
died.
Plaza.
You can catch me at the Stu Leonard's in Farmingdale.
Route 110.
Airport Plaza.
Now, Odell got to enjoy his big money contract, being the record-breaking contract in the NFL for about...
Highest paid wide
2
receiver.
days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just as far as record-breaking contracts, he was kind of upended today
Was it?
By
by
Was
one
it a
Aaron
24?
Rodgers.
who's he?
Yeah, just
Some
guy.
young
He
upstart.
wears like cheese on his
What
head.
team? Oh, okay.
He tells you to calm down or some shit.
All
You know,
right.
he's the brother of the guy who was on The Bachelor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bill Rogers.
Old Cliff Rogers'
Old
son.
Roy Rogers.
Oh, I was gonna say, wasn't it? Who was the Hasselbeck? Doesn't Hasselbeck also have a?
Tim and
Matt.
Tim-
Yeah, they both played football.
Well,
It's the nicest
Yeah,
thing you can
it's
say
my
about
bad.
the Hasselbecks.
Hey man, Matt Hasselbeck got to a Super Bowl
So did Tim, didn't he? Yeah, he was with
as
the
a
Giants.
backup.
counts.
Oh, yeah.
He would still get a.
No,
he would
I'm
still
not.
get a
I'm
ring.
not counting that.
But Tim got a ring though.
Did Tim get a ring? Though?
He was with
he
the
on
Giants.
the 27? Was he on the 2007 team? I
No,
don't think he was.
Who was the backup in 2011?
David Carr.
Does David Carr have 2 Super
I
Bowls?
think he's got 2.
Fuck, David Carr's going to the Hall of Fame.
Holy shit.
He's got more Super Bowl rings than
I just
Dan
wanna-
Marino.
He was the same as Eli.
I'm just gonna fact check this.
Well, while you're figuring that out,
David Carr has 1 Super Bowl
Okay.
ring. He was with the Panthers in 2007. He missed that Super Bowl by 1 year. Joined the Giants in 2008.
Okay.
just miss Canton.
Yeah.
At all.
now he's one and done on the ballot.
Yeah. He's got to wait his turn. Just like T.O. Just got to sit it out and wait.
Excuse my ignorance, but with the Hall of Fame, is it kind of like baseball where they have to get voted in by a certain amount of people, or is it just like, is it more like?
It's the same. Just a
It's
It's
vote.
pretty much the same. I don't know that they have like the same percentage type thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's like
I
a
think
certain.
the voting's
yeah.
a little bit more liberal than
It
it is
is.
in baseball.
Yeah.
Than,
Yeah.
And there's, I mean, now it's probably going to be a lot more critical with what T.O. did, but
Yeah, but he was just giving a fuck you to the like
to the guys who
stuck
didn't
up
like him, yeah.
fucking like just the entire system
Yeah.
because they've criticized him his entire career. They vote him in. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
He should
I
have
want to do my own part.
He should have showed
Cool.
up and been like, "All right, thanks."
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Should have fucking like signed the statue.
Take, like This is he
And
takes,
everybody's like, no.
he's like, I want my statue to have a Sharpie and a box of popcorn.
Standing on a star.
Yeah, standing on the star.
Better
Please.
than Ray Lewis's statue that looked like Ray Rice.
Oh, you mean I thought it was the one murdering a guy? That's his statue.
Where he just talked about like God for 45 minutes.
So it's like a normal.
I found God. Yeah, I'm okay now.
My mama had credits.
Everything I did wrong, it's all forgiven because God told me it's okay.
Yeah.
We had lunch. He told me personally.
Usually that's called schizophrenia, but apparently it's called religion now.
He called me on my Kia Sorento Bluetooth wireless phone.
He said, Ray,
Ray.
I want to tell you, I forgive you for the
Murder.
helping kill a guy.
Water under the bridge.
Totally.
You started praying a little bit, and I took notice, and you did good.
Aaron Hernandez should have prayed. The lesson learned.
That's where he went wrong. So yeah, like Aaron Rodgers,
That's
right,
the-
guys?
yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean,
I can see this podcast going smoothly.
Oh, this is gonna be great. 4 years, 134 million.
God
Yeah.
damn, I hope-
103 guaranteed.
Insane.
I
He finally gets paid.
Wait, was he not paid before? Like,
Not much.
And you know what's funny?
He was making good money, but not like what Aaron
He
Rodgers
should
should be
have,
making.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he should have gotten this big
finally
deal.
got the big
And
contract.
it's funny
I'm glad he got
because-
the money. I hope he tears his ACL 4 years in a row.
Why? It doesn't concern
What
you
has
at
he
all.
ever done to the Cowboys?
Beat them?
Is that a serious?
What is what
serious?
did he make the Dez call? Did he say it wasn't a catch?
No, but he
Did,
got
Dez,
them
did he
close
make
enough.
Dez drop the ball? Which he
Yeah,
obviously
but by
did.
that account, he knocked us out in the wild card round. I hope he's in a coma the rest
Piece
of
of
his life.
shit.
See,
Yeah.
exactly.
Water under the bridge.
God, he killed us in a year that we would have lost in the division round if
Yeah.
we made it through. Son of a bitch.
I hope he
just
has a messy
turtle
divorce
on.
where he really thinks about himself.
How dare he throw that Hail Mary where 3 of our corners were just standing in the end zone with no idea what to do.
Fuck him for being good.
He should have turtled up and let us win.
I just love that this comes a week after we were just saying that if they don't do good this year,
He's gone.
He's gonna be like, I want off this team or I want Mike McCarthy gone.
Well, that's the
if
thing.
they-
They had to give him money.
McCarthy's gone if they do
Yeah,
poorly.
well, that's
Yeah.
still. I think that's still a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to lean more on McCarthy. This may be McCarthy's last year in Green Bay than like Aaron Rodgers being gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be like Green Bay
He's-
doesn't do that to their quarterbacks. They're like, all
He's
right.
gonna retire a Packer, I think.
Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah.
This contract, I think he's.
I
Gonna
don't
be a
think
Packer
I don't
fly.
think we'll see like a Manning situation with him where they say, "Look, thanks for everything. We're gonna let you go," and then he
Right.
goes and plays for like the fucking Cardinals.
I think what's gonna happen
Finally
is
get
the
him over the hump.
I think the 4th year he's gonna make it to the playoffs but lose, and then he's gonna sign like a 1-year extension
No.
to try and win one more because he got so close. That's what I think.
Who's he? He's 37 now, right? He's
37.
He's an elder statesman.
but
It's like
he's
his
still-
14th year in the league.
But he's still is it? He's
No,
got
his
the,
first year was like 07.
No, well,
Yeah.
that's his first playing year. But I'm saying
He
he's
sat behind.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
drafted in like 05, wasn't he?
yeah,
He's 34 years old.
34.
Okay,
So
34
at the end of this,
Gonna be 35 in December.
okay. So at the end of this
What day is
contract,
it?
I mean,
At the end of this contract is probably it.
yeah,
what day in December?
December 2nd.
Ooh,
still younger than him.
still
though,
younger than me.
by a
But
couple
yeah,
of years.
by 10 years.
I talk about month and days.
Yeah,
no
he was drafted in
years.
2005. That was my bad.
Um,
And
Yes.
it's not like I mean I can understand what you're thinking because he did
He
take
didn't
some
play
time,
until like
but
08,
he got
yeah.
beat down a lot.
Mhm.
Like he's taken a lot of
Well, their
punishment.
line was garbage for
Yeah.
so long.
For a really long time.
yeah.
I mean, maybe could have
Kind
cut.
of still, but
Favorite thing is when
that
you-
dude runs all over the place.
Did you see the Clueless Gamer with Conan O'Brien where he was there? So he's sitting. Aaron Rodgers was
Maybe.
playing. So he had his arm in a sling because he just had surgery.
Oh yeah, I think I did.
And
see
then
that.
Conan brings in the lineman who led up the sack that like broke his collarbone. He's like, "You're supposed to protect him. You didn't do your job."
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Conan starts smacking him.
How dare you?
So we'll get into the next bit of news. We have a lot of stuff going on with the Jets today.
Yep.
Bridgewater was traded to the New Orleans Saints,
Mm-hmm.
and
For a
Sam.
third-round pick.
Yeah, which means that they've announced Sam Darnold is starting week
Yep.
one.
Pretty much.
We'll start with the Bridgewater
huge.
news.
Remember the GM of the Jets' name, but what a job by him.
Yeah,
Because
I was
he
gonna
only
say.
gave Bridgewater $500,000 guaranteed, and he turns that into a third-round pick.
Yeah.
That's
it's
It was
found
really
Yeah.
they couldn't really lose in that,
No,
which is a great thing. It was
absolutely
like,
not.
we're going to give you a chance to prove yourself. We
Yeah.
know we're taking Sam Darnold as long as he's available, or they're going to take a quarterback. So if you prove yourself, like, we can flip that and make a pick out of it.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what they did.
And now, I mean, we'll get to it later, but now he's, insurance for Drew Brees in what could be his last season.
Exactly.
So,
How confused do you think Vikings fans are going to be now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they said they were like, well, I guess I can't root for the Saints now.
Yeah.
Or like,
It's like,
well, I'll root for him, but
yeah. They're like, God damn it. Also, I don't know if you guys heard about like how like falsely it was presented about what happened with Bridgewater.
No.
The original thing that came out said that like they were on the bus for this week's game, and like when the bus stopped, they were like, hey, you got traded. And that he like got off the bus. Like they made it sound like they left him on the side of the road.
No,
He's on fucking I-95.
Yeah.
Teddy, you're out. Get the fuck
Sorry, your pickup's going to be here in like, I don't know, 3 hours.
Watch
Stick
the
your thumb out.
ankle.
Just take I-95 into the fork.
Well, like really, what happened was the bus hadn't left yet.
So my phone's on 5%. Tough luck, kid.
Maybe they have a charger down in New Orleans.
But
I don't know.
yeah, the bus hadn't left yet, and
He got on the bus to thank everybody on
And
the
say-
Jets.
and say
Like,
goodbye.
best of luck
God,
on
what a guy.
week 4. Like, you know what I mean? Go get him this year. Like, thanked everybody and got off the
Good
bus.
dude.
Yeah.
salt of the earth.
Good dude. That's gonna really make that. What week? They play the Saints this year, don't they? The Jets.
I think so.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really awkward.
No, they're
No, because I think they left on.
they're gonna do the thing where the game ends and they all run across the field and Bridgewater's gonna talk to Sam Darnold and you're not gonna know what he says.
Do you think that?
No, I don't have
I don't
the
think
Saints
that's
against
bad.
the Jets.
No, they're playing the Giants. I'm sorry.
I
I
thought
I don't
played
think
them
that's
this year.
like bad blood though, because I thought that was like, wasn't their original intention
yeah.
was like
If Ted,
pretty
if
much the lead up to
Teddy
that.
Bridgewater knew he wasn't going to be on the
Yeah.
Jets after like week 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
That's
knew
it.
that he was eventually going to be traded at some point. It's just
Yeah.
I'd rather get traded in the beginning of the season than
Then
Well,
have the uncertainty of moving.
Well,
Exactly.
that for me is the interesting thing now about Sam Darnold starting week 1. Because, like, I'm looking at their schedule for those first 3 weeks. They play their first 3 games in 11 days.
Wow.
I think they play the Thursday night. No, I'm sorry. I think they open on Monday night, play Sunday, and then play Thursday.
Jeez.
And then they don't play for like 10 days. So you're just throwing this kid like right to the wolves with
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
schedule. You know what I mean?
I gotta see who they're
That's
playing
why
now.
I thought
That's
they
a
would
good
kind
point.
of keep Bridgewater or at least put McCown in for that like
Well,
little like
Todd
chaotic
Bowles-
part of the schedule.
Todd Bowles is saying that it's McCown's job until he gets unseated. But we all know.
But they literally announced,
Well, they announced today that
that
Oh, they announced
yeah,
that
that
Darnold's
Darnold's
they announced
playing
Darnold's
week 1.
starter.
Yeah, I haven't heard since.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Cheers.
You know what I think it is? I think Bowles feels like if they don't do good this year, he might be out.
Yeah, he's got to take a chance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did they
Which
play-
I think they should give him a chance because they've literally been a rebuilding team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Did
think
they-
they're in like year 2 out of 3 of a rebuild. I
This
think
is
they have
it.
another year of
You know
like
they
kinda,
have good pieces, so you know what? It doesn't matter. Like they have a decent.
They do have
offensive
good young
line,
pieces, yeah.
and they got 2 good running backs in Powell and Crowell.
yeah. And honestly,
Let
they
it go.
don't have bad receiving weapons for
Yeah.
Darnold in
What's-
his rookie year.
What's the worst they can do? The Bills are terrible.
Well,
Yeah,
so they
absolutely.
played the Lions on Monday the 10th. Then they play the Dolphins the 16th, which I assume would be Sunday, and then they play the Browns on the 20th.
It's
which
not a
is-
tough schedule, but it is a
Thursday.
lot in,
Yeah.
in
Oh,
a
yeah,
short
100%.
period of time.
It's
I
10
think,
days, 3
I think the
games.
Dolphins are
It's a
going to be
physical
like.
schedule.
Yeah,
I think the Dolphins are going to be the only one that like really gives him like a physical problem, though. I don't think that he's going to get like. I don't think that the offensive line is going to get.
I disagree. I think the Browns would give him more trouble.
Yeah,
or
the Browns
or the Lions
defense
would
is
give him
looking
more
scary.
trouble, but the Dolphins are nothing really to worry about.
Yeah.
Only because in my head, I just think
These two
like,
guys think the Dolphins are going to do something.
That's
fucking
my
magic.
bold
Well, that's the
That's
thing.
my
I think
bold
the
pick of the
Dolphins-
year.
I think the Dolphins are going to do well.
and then I saw that
I'm glad
headline
you're here because I'm like, this is crazy.
Based on
town.
what?
based on a Hail Mary. I'm throwing like Aaron Rodgers,
Tannehill's on his like 19th make or break year.
and this is he's gonna make it.
He made it the last 19 years.
It's the law of averages. He's due for one of them to make it.
He's over in
He's only
practice.
been in the league for like 6 years, and this is his 19th. Like, is this going to be it? Like,
Matt Moore's not on the team anymore, so it's free to run.
Hey, it was really only 5. He was hurt all of last year.
Well, that's the thing. That division
he's
always
got
plays.
no ACLs left.
That division always plays well against their division. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
Jets play
cool.
amazing against the Pats.
But even
like, the
when
Dolphins.
he's healthy, he's not that good of a quarterback.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
doesn't.
no, it was just a wild pick.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
It wasn't.
And he's looking on the
yeah.
wire.
They've got 92-year-old Frank Gore as their running back.
Yeah, well, they have the
They've
rookie, don't they?
Drake, Kenyon Drake.
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah,
Drake,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
All Frank Gore's got to do is just fall down on the end zone. That's all he's got to do.
and then who's their big wide receiver now that Jarvis is gone? Oh, Danny Amendola, who is going to be
Show up in week 12.
completely shown
Did you see,
when he's out of the Patriots.
Did you see? I think it was last week in preseason when Kiko Alonso went to the wrong side of the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and cost them
They
a
were
delay
like,
of game.
you see Hardball, like, you gotta go over there. He's just looking like he's in disbelief, like he's right and everybody else switched sides.
What are you guys talking about? I'm not falling for this.
I don't know,
You guys are
Skip. I
fucking
think you
with me.
got it wrong.
And then the last bit of big news that happened this today was the Michael Kendricks insider trading, which is going to make for a fantastic Hard Knocks episode.
Yep.
I don't know all the ins and outs of like this insider trading thing that's going on.
I think
exactly.
we all do. We
There
don't
was
have to
something-
mention it. The listeners know what insider trading
Yeah,
is and all,
yeah.
and every
I think
detail
it was
about it.
with
We don't have to
Goldman-
give
I think it was
anything.
with Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
And
He had a friend that was close
Yeah.
to the inside of it, and he pretty much gave his friend money to fund.
Trade.
Like, it wasn't even like him doing it, like
Oh.
figuring it all out. It was him like going along with the friend who knew they were doing something.
I would love
crossing
it
the
if
line.
it showed like him with the fucking like the clear green visor, like I'm working the numbers.
with that
just
green,
don't see
with
it.
that green lamp. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah.
famous green lamp
Yeah.
that's in every.
At least there's finally some white collar crimes in the NFL.
Finally.
yeah.
What do you think the suspensions are like for that? 1 game, 2 games?
Probably, yeah, like half a game.
I would love to know if he was a kid.
No
Goodell's like, if you
preseason
could get
play.
me a lower APR, I'd be
Yeah,
fucking
no, it'll be like college where they're like, you're gonna miss the first half, you know.
I can imagine him like punching numbers on the calculator while also watching like game footage, like trying to figure out, and then like you just hear that like Brian said the receipt thing.
Yeah, well, if he's found guilty, it's 8 to 12 months in prison.
That's nothing. He'll get off
That's a
with
season.
probation.
He's gonna miss a 4-12 season.
He
That
might,
doesn't-
he might get house arrest
But
if
he
they
was-
go the whole fucking Martha Stewart thing.
But he
Like,
was cut
She
from
went
the
to
team.
jail.
Yeah, but then she
She
got
went-
out and
No, she
did
went to
house
like.
arrest.
Well,
house
she
arrest.
was on
No,
probation.
she was in prison.
She was in prison.
No, I-
she did
no, I know.
time.
I know.
She has a teardrop tattoo.
I saw that. Really wicked.
She shanked some fools.
I don't think Michael Kendricks is getting the Martha Stewart treatment.
Something,
NFL player, middle-aged white woman.
something tells me.
Yeah, so I guess that's really it for the news. There's a lot of chaos.
Yep.
Probably more is going to happen by the time we record next week. They're saying Aaron Donald's getting real close to signing.
What about
So-
Khalil Mack? Still just.
I don't know.
sitting
Yeah, Khalil Mack, I haven't heard anything on that. I think that's still up in the air. I think that's Gruden just kind of being a hard nose about it.
there? I can't wait till we cover the West. 'Cause
God, I love these guys.
I'm a douchebag. Man.
Did you see, because they signed Rogers Cromartie, somebody was like, I can't wait for Gruden to run the Spider 2Y pickle.
All right, so we're gonna
get
do
going.
the South today. So we're gonna start with the AFC South. Is that cool with everybody?
Absolutely.
Do you want to go in order of the standings?
Yeah,
from
we
last
usually
season?
start
Okay.
going
yeah.
in order of the standings. Well, I know you took a lot of notes on a lot of roster moves. I have I had 2 teams done because I did these from last
Yeah.
week. So I have Jaguars and Titans, and then if I miss anything, feel free to
Sure,
add it.
sure.
And then you can take the reins. So Jaguars coming in at 10-6 last year. Saxonville, so the stud defense that everyone's been talking about all offseason. Didn't make that many moves in the offseason.
No, mostly depth moves.
Yeah, added Dante Moncrief, wide receiver from the Colts. Niles Paul, tight end from the Redskins. Austin Safarian Jenkins, tight end from the Jets. and Andrew Norwell, the left tackle for the Panthers.
That was the biggest move to shore
That
up
was
the
the big
offensive
one,
line.
especially for us Giants fans, because there was a lot of talk we were going to get him. He was a Gettleman guy, and he decided to go to Jacksonville. In the draft, they took a defensive tackle, Taven Bryan, 29th overall, and then DJ Chark, okay. Wide receiver, 61. Couldn't tell if it had a T or a K. And
if he does it well, there's going to be a shirt that says Chark Attack, right?
Oh yeah.
He was a decently hyped wide receiver in the draft, and I mean Dante Moncrief is ass. So,
yeah, that's
but with Marquise Lee injured with just hurt his knee in the last game. Chark is. We'll see how he handles if he's going to step up and be the one this year.
Because they lost 2 receivers last year.
They lost Alan Hearns and Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson.
Hearns going to Dallas and Robinson going to Chicago.
Yeah. So, not too many big changes.
No,
but,
I mean,
they did lose wide receivers.
Yeah, they lost that. They lost Chris Ivory, who was their number 2 back behind Fournette last year.
Mm-hmm.
Ivory could be the starter in Buffalo if the allegations against LaShawn McCoy are found to be true.
Yeah.
So,
is there any news on that?
Not in a couple weeks, but they're still investigating.
That's what made my picks weird because
that's tough with
not
that.
knowing if
because that's huge. If they lose McCoy, then that completely changes their season.
Should be 6 games.
Yeah,
should be 6 games.
Should be.
I mean, it should be the whole season. if it's found to be true, the allegations are that he animal abuse, child abuse, and domestic abuse, and steroid
probably
abuse.
Just shouldn't be allowed in the league anymore.
How long did
Peterson
Peterson get for the child abuse?
A year, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was a year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he never fully recovered.
And he never
After
fully
a
understood
year
why
off
he got
of
suspended.
Well, now he's going to run for 1,600 yards with the Redskins.
Yeah,
so.
because why not? Because we
how it
signed
works.
Jonathan Stewart to
Right,
a $3
exactly.
million deal.
You said 1,600 yards. I thought you meant 1,600 feet. He can't do it.
It's going to be one or the other.
6,000 yards.
I think with the wide receivers, Matthew Berry was saying that Cole and Westbrook are going to step up because Cole was, I think, number 2 on the team last year in targets. And Marquise Lee actually picked up at the end of the season. So he really
picked up last year, especially in the playoffs.
With Blake Bortles, Jalen Ramsey's, he's got to do what he's got to do quarterback.
Yeah.
They're mostly going to be running the ball. This is a run-heavy offense.
Yes.
And they're gonna run Leonard Fournette to the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Bortles, who was extended this offseason, so they made it clear that he's the guy, I guess.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's
it's not our money.
Say what you will.
He looked really good in the playoffs. So if they want to keep aside from the Buffalo game, because that Buffalo game was a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
10-7, I think was the final score.
Yeah.
But if they want to, contend, he's got to step up and be what he was in the playoffs against the Steelers and the Patriots. Like we said, Chark has got to step up, or Moncrief has got to step up in the wake of Marquise Lee's absence. And Jalen Ramsey, excellent cornerback, but might have to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
He's been in the league for, I think, 2 years. This is his third. He's an all-pro cornerback.
Also,
you don't have that seniority.
I love what Golden Tate said about it, which when he was he's like, yeah, he had a lot to say about Matt Stafford. He's like, what happened the last time we played them? That's right, we beat them, and Jalen Ramsey was crying on the bench. He was crying like a baby.
Wait, did Ramsey and Fowler serve their suspension yet? Because I know they got suspended for.
They didn't. I don't know when that comes into play.
Because I found the official reason for its unbecoming Jaguar behavior, which I thought was ridiculous that there's Jaguar behavior that they were unbecoming of. They were never that good to
I never am opposed to trying to set a culture.
Well, it's Tom Coughlin's culture, so now
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Coughlin was probably furious at those comments he made.
You dumb motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Also, it was Ramsey was suspended for lashing out about tweets from critics.
You gotta have a tough skin.
Or he was criticizing the media rather.
Oh, he's gotta have a tough
Hey,
skin.
But I don't see how big the suspension is.
While we're on the Tom Coughlin subject, do you think he gets like windburn in his corporate office? You think his face is like, maybe it's like just sunburn at this point?
He's just
instead of windburn?
Maybe.
He's sitting up there like, Steven, I told you to close the fucking window. Why
is the air on?
Why isn't it
why are
the
you doing
typical
this to
New
me?
York retirement though?
Just go down there.
go
Go
to Florida.
Yeah.
We work at the towers, we know.
Yeah.
Um,
That sweet panhandle.
so let's get into a bit of scheduling.
Okay.
For the for Jacksonville. They went 10-6 last year.
Yep.
In my predictions, I have them keeping the same record. I think they go 10-6 again this year. I have them beating the Giants, Patriots, Titans, Jets, Chiefs, Cowboys, Colts, Steelers, Bills, and Redskins. I think they lose 1 to the Texans, Eagles, Colts, Titans, Dolphins. They lose 2 to the Texans. Eagles, Colts, Titans, Dolphins.
I have them going 11-5. I have them beating the Giants, the Cowboys, Titans, Jets, Colts, Texans, Steelers, Colts, Bills, Redskins, and Dolphins. And I have them losing to the Patriots, Chiefs, Titans, Texans, and Philly.
I have them going 9-7.
Ooh,
I
step
think
back.
Yeah, I think that. Well, I kind of did a little. I think they're gonna lose to the Patriots, Cowboys, Texans, Steelers, Titans, and I think they're playing the Eagles, right? And yeah, probably, well, whatever. But I think they'll beat the Jets, the Colts twice, the Titans once, the Bills, the Redskins, the Dolphins, and I think that I have swing games because I couldn't really get gauge on them.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
So
there's
I
those
have
games.
my 3 swings are the Giants, Eagles, and Chiefs, and I think they're going to go 1-2 out of those 3 matchups. I just don't know which ones, but I think I'm going to lean towards them beating the Giants.
Okay.
Because the Giants still have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
the track is there, but they're still off.
I think the Giants are an 8-8 team this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Fair
That's what I have.
I do like that swing game concept. I
yeah.
might use that next week.
I like that idea too.
I've got the Jaguars
You're
going
welcome.
12-4.
Ouch.
I've got them winning against the Giants, splitting against the Titans, beating the Jets, beating Dallas, sweeping Houston, sweeping Indy, beating Pittsburgh, beating Buffalo, beating Washington and Miami, and then losing to the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Eagles, and I said splitting with the Titans.
So it's interesting because you have at 9 wins, I have at 10, 11, and 12.
Yep.
So we're in the 9 to 12.
Yeah.
We're in the upper half.
They're going to be
yeah.
good. It's just that I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year.
Okay.
I think there might be a step back because of.
I think I'm more in line with you because I have them breaking even what they did last year. I think if anything, they may be losing another game.
Yeah, I think there's now too much pressure on. I don't believe in Blake Bortles.
I like,
but that
Blake
defense
Bortles.
can carry them to maybe another 10-3 win.
Sure, yeah. I'm maybe the playoffs was an anomaly for Blake, but I saw something in him that I didn't. Haven't seen in his 4
he
years.
was a great
in the
fantasy
league, or
quarterback
5
last
years
year.
in
Yeah,
the league.
I am always a
Yeah,
ride or die
yeah.
fantasy guy for
yeah.
Blake Bortles.
But
Garbage time.
I think the addition of Andrew Norwell shores up the offensive line, especially in the running game with
Yes.
with Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Who had a monster rookie year.
But he got hurt.
Then-
He
then
missed
you've
a couple
got-
of weeks.
Yeah.
So he's got to stay healthy.
Then the addition of Taven Bryan to the line, which they already have a really good defensive line.
Yeah.
Their defense is not going to fall back.
Yeah.
They remind me a lot.
I think they'll step up.
They remind me a lot of Seattle a few years ago, defense-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the way that, first of all, they nicknamed themselves. Which is
Yeah.
always,
yeah. You know,
Check
they got
one on the
but
list.
just the way they're just
they got the big front line
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the
And the
big
secondary.
secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that's interesting. Yeah, we're all kind of. That's probably one of our furthest splits we've had so far. Is Jacksonville as far as win percentages. All right, so next we have the
Oh, wait,
Titans.
hold on, real quick.
Yes.
I just want to say, I want to give a shout out actually to Blake Bortles.
No.
Because, well,
He doesn't listen.
He's the boat.
I'm just saying.
He's the boat.
You
Best of all
know,
time.
the one thing that I read earlier today, and I brought it back up on my phone, is him and his foundation are providing meals for the first responders from what happened in Jacksonville at the Madden tournament the other day.
Oh yeah. I did see that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Jacksonville's got hit with like 3 mass shootings in the past like month or like 2 months.
Is it Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just Florida.
No, Jacksonville had the high school game that got shot.
Yes. That
and
happened,
then I think
like,
it was
the
another
day
one.
before.
Yeah, and then the Madden tournament, which Andrew and like.
Yeah, that
was something that was like kind of hit both of us.
It was like before it even broke. Like I saw the video on Reddit and I didn't really know what it was, and I watched it and I wish I hadn't.
Yeah,
it was hard to watch.
So obviously, it's very unfortunate that the 2 players passed away, but it's really nice to see that somebody like Blake Bortles trying to step up and bring a positive outcome to the horrible tragedy that happened. So I did want to give a little shout out because a lot of players from Florida in general and also like other teams are sending out their prayers to like the competitive players from the tournament that got hurt and stuff like that. So it's nice to see.
Good job,
with something like that. And then, fuck it, let's go to...
All right, let's do the Titans.
Tennessee, what have you done for me lately, Marcus
I don't know why it reminded me of this. Like, before you even said anything, we were talking about Blake Bortles. Did you see the video of Andy Dalton at the Bills Stadium?
Yeah, he got a standing ovation.
Great.
That was awesome. Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was awesome, but another part of me was like, this is really awkward. Because, like, it was great because when it happened originally, like, during the playoffs, all the Bills fans donated to his charity.
Yep, $500,000.
And I was like, that's cool. And then having him come out and do like a standing ovation, I was like, this is getting a little funny.
He played. He dropped 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He also donated
but I was like,
he's like the greatest Bill in history.
He also donated. He donated to one of their foundations,
the Bills Foundation.
The Bills Foundation.
So I like that trend.
He gave a lot of that money back to the Bills.
Yeah, support athletes foundations.
I mean, he didn't give a lot of that money back. He gave his own money. He didn't take the money that they gave and be like, well, no, you keep it.
That's, you know what I mean.
I'll take 25.
Hey Arnold jokes.
Yeah.
All right, so Titans 9-7. New head coach.
Oh yeah,
Mike Vrabel. I think he's going to be awful. He was not a good defensive coach with the Texans. I believe it was the Texans he came from.
You never see many like coaches that get to the playoffs get fired the next year.
He's a Belichick
Well,
guy.
they wanted the rumors were flying that they wanted Mularkey gone in December when they went on a 3-game losing streak, and then he they went ass backwards into the playoffs, and then the owner was like, well, fuck. And then they beat the Chiefs, and the owner was like, fuck. And then they lost to the Patriots, and they were like, that's it. You are out of here.
You couldn't beat the Patriots in the playoffs? You are not worthy to be here. Oh, man.
That's un-Titan-like behavior.
It's very un-Titan-like.
So they had a couple big additions in the offseason. Malcolm Butler, 5 years, $61 million.
Yeah.
Deion Lewis, 4 years, $19.8 million. And then Big Blaine Gabbert.
That was exactly what I was going to say.
2 years, $4 million.
Yo, the fact he still gets money is insane.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fairly minor, but I think he's going to be starting Benny Logan, defensive tackle. Could have a pretty solid year for them and shore up the defensive line. They've got a good defense.
They do.
The offense is just a question because Mariota has got to prove himself after a pretty dreadful year last year. Only 13 touchdown passes.
How many interceptions? You know,
I have to look at
how many rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, they had
they
had Derrick Henry kind of step up last year.
Yeah, Derrick Henry stepped up, which I don't like the Deion Lewis. I don't like offensive players from the Patriots going to other teams because they never pan out.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a complete bust. Yeah, exactly. And especially running back. The Giants just saw that with Shane Vereen for 3 years.
Yep. I've always kind of felt that with Malcolm Butler. I mean, he had that breakout in the Super Bowl, but I feel like he was never like stud.
He's a big player, but I don't know how it's going to translate. It might just be the system.
Exactly.
He was the one that got that
The
interception.
Yeah. But then, like, I remember when the Giants played him. I mean, granted, it is Odell, but like he just burned him.
But then also, like in the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, he's the one who got like roasted by Julio Jones.
Yeah. So like.
Yeah.
So Marcus Mariota, 2016, he had a good year. Threw for 3,400, 26 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Last year, he threw for 3,200 with 13 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
That's not good.
He's got to step up. Corey Davis, their first-round pick in 2017, looks like a bust so far. He's got to step up.
Yeah, he was hurt all last year. He had hamstring problems.
But Rashard Matthews had a pretty decent season, and he's the number one now. So he's got to step up and prove himself. Eric Decker retired.
Well, he was gone anyway. He was
yes.
How right was I, though? When I called it on the first episode, whoever makes it through camp with the Patriots is going to be a stud. And Cordell Patterson's looking like he's going to be a fucking stud this year.
And DeMarco Murray was released and retired.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate it.
And then they got the 2 linebackers.
They drafted Rashawn Evans and Harold Landry.
Mm-hmm.
Landry, the consensus was that was a bit of a reach, but Evans, people are hyping him up. So.
Okay. And maybe
again, their strong suit is their defense. I think that's why they went and got a defensive coach like Mike Vrabel. But
and then 2 defensive pieces in the draft.
Yeah. So.
All right. So it's weird. The Titans are a team I feel like I know the least about out of any team in the NFL. Because like you don't really hear about them as much.
Yeah. Right.
Like they're a giant
very
market.
forgotten team.
Yeah. Exactly. So, like, this was probably one of the hardest teams I've had to do.
I think the other issue is the owner does not put a lot of money into the team. So, like, signing Malcolm Butler was the first big splash they've made in several years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've seen their stadium. Does not look good.
No.
They do not put money into that at all.
That does not seem like it.
When was the last time they had, like, a team? You know, like a...
Well, they have a team every year.
Yeah.
They're always going to
dominant.
They play 16 games.
Dominant.
They're in the league. Legally, they have 53 men, but like since they were like on a dominant run,
Like a force.
I think like when they had
like
Steve
the late
McNair,
2000s,
Eddie George, Derek
you're right.
Mason.
Yeah, probably like 04 then. 05 was the last year that they were really
when they
good.
started making
Because they drafted Vince Young, who stole money from them. He didn't like rob anybody, but he robbed the Titans.
Yeah. I know.
then they had Jake Locker, who retired after 3 years.
He couldn't get it right. He just got hurt every fucking play.
And then now they got Mariota, who's got to prove himself. I loved him in Oregon, and I thought that he was the better quarterback going into the draft. With him and Winston.
Yeah,
we'll get to Winston later, but he's got to prove himself this year and show that he's the guy.
I think the last time they were a force was Madden 11, when Chris Johnson was a 99.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he was untouchable in that game.
Yeah.
That was the last time they were a force.
That was like Ricky Williams in NFL Street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And LaDainian Tomlinson in NFL Street, too.
So
Terrell Owens, too.
We'll get to a bit of...
bring streets back.
Yo, those are the best.
They are. Bring back EA Sports Big.
Yes, absolutely.
Just the whole division.
And throw in Skate 4.
Yeah, throw that in there.
I'll be happy.
I think that was like officially, unofficially, kind of like an esports like big kind of thing.
Sure.
So what do you got their record being?
Record, I think they take a step back this year. I have 6-10.
That's a big step back.
Yeah, I think they beat the Dolphins, Ravens, Chargers, Jets. They somehow get one against the Jags and the Colts. And then I have them losing to the Texans twice, the Jags, Eagles, Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, Colts, Giants, and Redskins.
I have them going 7-9. I have them winning against the Dolphins, Jaguars, Bills, Ravens, Jets, Redskins, and Colts. They lose to the Texans twice, the Eagles, Chargers, Cowboys, Colts, Jaguars, Giants, and Patriots.
Brian?
I have them actually going 10-6.
Whoa!
I like the Titans. I like Derrick Henry.
You have them over the Jaguars.
I do. I think because with adding Evans and Landry, I think their defense takes another step. I like who's the defensive tackle they added? You said
Benny Logan.
I like him. I think their offensive line's been together for a couple of years now. They're very close, and that's always a good sign when your offensive line's a strong unit and they want to protect Mariota. His wide receivers are shit. I'm sorry to say it, they suck. But I think Deion Lewis could definitely be a nice change of pace out of the backfield.
Yep.
I see them losing to the Eagles, splitting one with the Jags, splitting one with the Texans. See them losing beating the losing to the Bills.
Whoa.
I think the Bills steal one, losing to the Pats, losing to the Jets, and losing to the Eagles. I see them beating the Dolphins, Giants, Redskins, like I said, splitting with the Jags, taking 2 from the Colts, the Ravens, Chargers, surprising the Cowboys, and yeah.
I have them going 8-8. Little step back. I have them beating Miami, Buffalo, Jets, and then I have them in the division. I have them sweeping Houston, sweeping Indy, splitting with Jacksonville. They lose to Philly, Baltimore, the Chargers, Dallas, Patriots, Giants, and Washington. 8-8. Now, somebody we forgot to mention is a big key in their offense is Delaney Walker, who I think you could argue is a top 3 tight end in the league.
He's the number one. He's the number 1 target receiving.
Yeah. So
like that's what I'm saying.
He'll always be there, but the wide receivers like Matthews and Davis especially have got to step up this year.
Yeah, that's why I think because with the familiarity that Mariota has with Walker, and now Henry emerging as the big back.
Yeah, he's the power back on that team.
I think it could be like if they get in the red zone, it's going to be dangerous with Lewis and Henry, and it's just I think good things from Tennessee. Plus, I like the jerseys.
Yeah,
what can I say?
They
got good jerseys.
Yeah,
historically good jerseys.
And it brings us back to our old top jerseys episode.
Right,
that was a good one. All right, so we'll move on to the Colts.
This is a bad football team.
If we have to.
So they went 4-12 last year. Do you have the moves?
Their additions are Austin Howard, offensive tackle, Matt Slauson, center, Ryan Grant, wide receiver, the lifeless husk of Eric Ebron, tight end, and Danico Autry, defensive end. Now, Ryan Grant, I believe, is the guy who failed his physical with the Ravens and then signed on with the Colts. I just want to double-check that.
Let's not also
allegedly
forget that they got completely fucked out of Josh McDaniels as their head coach.
Yeah, I was going to say coach, not Josh McDaniels, because he agreed to do a contract and then said, oh, no, bye.
Yeah, he hired everyone else. Everyone uprooted their lives wherever they were, and it's like, no.
Yeah,
I got 2 more years of Belichick, and I'll take over the Patriots.
So their head coach is something named Frank Reich.
Something.
Yeah. Ryan Grant is the guy who signed a 4-year deal with the Ravens this offseason, failed his physical, had his contract rescinded, and then signed with the Colts.
That could be a blessing in disguise for Mr. Grant.
Or the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens just smattered together some wide receivers.
Yeah. They did lose Jonathan Hankins, who was released. Dante Moncrief, of course, went to Jacksonville. Frank Gore, who, happy birthday, he just turned 100 today, is in Miami.
He's from the U.
Rashawn Melvin, cornerback to Oakland. Barcavius Mingo, the greatest name in the NFL.
My favorite football.
He's going to Seattle, and John Bostic went to Pittsburgh. They drafted... They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks in the first 3 rounds.
Woo.
They because of that trade with the Jets.
Yeah. I feel like that
they
went
made
under the
out like
radar
bandits.
with all the Browns picks.
Yeah, but they had the highest rated offensive lineman in the draft, Quentin Nelson.
Yeah.
They went line heavy. They also got Braden Smith, and of course we mentioned some other offensive line additions they made.
I think it's smart when you have Andrew Luck coming back.
Yeah, and you want to protect that guy.
He hasn't thrown a football in like 2 years.
They also drafted Darius Leonard, linebacker, Kamiko Toure, defensive end, and Tyquan Lewis, defensive end. And my main note for this team is that Luck is back until he's eaten by a shark in Week 4.
Eaten by a shark attack.
Yep.
Telling you, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. This is a bad football team. I don't have Luck making the whole season, and that's the reason that I have him so low.
Do you
I'll get to their record
Do you think
later.
if he gets hurt again, he's done?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's you
tough.
know.
Yeah.
I'm sure he won't. He's not going to give up. He's going to be like David Wright and keep on.
Yeah,
keep on
it's gonna
trucking.
be really sad.
But
This would be his last contention.
I don't.
He got
think,
promoted to AAA Las Vegas, so
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are
I
talking
don't
about.
know, but but he's still trucking. That's
He's
the point
still
I'm
going.
making.
He's still going.
But
Even though everyone told him to stop.
think
It's a
he's
make or
going
break year
to.
for him.
Yeah. I think if he gets hurt again, depending on the injury, if it's like to the neck or something like that, or to the back or whatever, knees, I don't see him being what he was.
I think he starts doing the Eli style
Yeah.
and just crumpling like a sack of potatoes
Yeah.
as soon as
I mean,
anybody crosses the line.
watching a couple of their preseason games, he doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that he's missed for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Do you think when he gets sacked, he's going to be like, "Hey man, can you just tell everyone to cool it down"?
just like
Take it
two-hand
easy.
touch, I'll go down. I promise I'll go down.
He's the one that's like very like
Nice.
when he gets sacked.
Good hit,
right?
man. Good hit.
Yeah.
Stop it, please. Get off my neck.
Now it's just going to be, ouch, 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 ouch.
Listen, man, I'm not in your house trying to steal your food. Please give me a minute.
Was that snap me or you?
Something's wet. I don't know if it's.
Oh, that's spinal fluid. Yep, that's definitely spinal
Are
fluid.
they turning the sprinklers on?
Who's their backup? It's Brissett, right?
Yeah, it's Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah,
He's going to play 19 games this year because they're going to the playoffs, baby.
Straight through.
That's like this
Dan
afternoon when
Orlovsky.
I broke the Aaron Rodgers news. Brian was like, "I hope they win 8 Super Bowls." I don't think you could win 8 Super Bowls in 4 years.
It's like you gotta find a way.
He's like, you gotta run away.
It's a lot of money not to win 8 Super
Well,
Bowls.
also with that Rodgers trade, with that Rodgers signing, they sent Brett Hundley. They sent him on a fucking bus somewhere.
They go,
to Seattle.
They kicked him out the door. Get the fuck out of here, asshole.
So now the only backup is
Deshaun
Deshaun
Kaiser. Hell yeah.
One of my favorite names in football.
Mister, I'm not going to take your job, sir.
I promise.
Please,
Don't
you
worry.
can have it.
All right,
Don't
let's
worry.
get to the schedule on the incredibly boring Indianapolis Colts.
Absolutely.
Nap City, baby.
They went 4-12 last year. I have them about the same. I said they win one more game, so I have them at 5-11. I think they split with the division. They somehow beat the Jags once, Titans and the Texans. I think division games, you never really know. And then I have them beating the Bengals and the Raiders, and they lose to everybody else. I'm not even going down 11 teams.
So I'll fill it in right now. I have them going 7-9.
Very high.
Big step up.
You know what? I think if he comes back and he's healthy for
And that's the
Sure,
question.
that's the wild
If he is
card.
healthy,
That's the wild card.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but as
My
of,
predictions
as of
are-
right now,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold on,
yeah.
Wes. As of right now, that he's healthy and he's
Of course.
playing, I think that he wins against the Bengals, Texans, Jets, Bills, Jaguars, Titans, and Texans.
Mm-hmm.
He loses to the Giants, Jaguars, Titans, Giants. Oh, Giants
They
are
don't
in
play
that
the
twice.
Giants twice.
Maybe they do this year.
Cowboys,
Giants are in the
Dolphins,
AFC South
Raiders,
now?
and the Patriots.
Finally.
And there's another team that I'm missing that I'll find out soon because I had them losing to 9 times.
Yeah, of course, Luck being healthy is the wild card. My picks are all on the assumption that he misses a significant chunk of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought it was such an interesting talking point, because it's like, what is Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, go ahead. No.
I was gonna say if he does get hurt, then I could knock off 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, because that team needs somebody of his caliber to do well, and if he's not healthy, then they're not going to do well.
Brian?
I think that, like you said, the lifeless husk of Eric. I think Ebron can actually do well with Luck because he's going to need to throw it as fast as he can to somebody. So, with Ty and Ryan Grant, I think Grant could be definitely a nice little help to Ty. You know, he is a decent receiver. maybe just finding a no stress team like the Colts could help them. The offensive line is relatively new. You're going to put a lot of pressure on Quentin Nelson to be a real stud. Their defense still sucks ass.
Yeah, their defense is awful.
It's just terrible. Like you said, like Luck he's basically a toothpick in a tornado. If he survives, he survives.
Question: do you think Ebron gets a lot of looks with Jack Doyle?
I think they might run a 2 tight end system.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think whoever
they might not run a slot
receiver. Because I would think Doyle would be like the main tight end.
But it's like I think it's whoever's the closest, because I feel the line's going to be collapsed most of the time.
Also just for max protection.
Exactly.
Double tight ends.
There are a lot of new pieces, so it's going to take a while to grow.
Of course.
So I think I have them going 4-12. Let me see. They lose against the Bengals, Eagles, split with the Texans, lose both to the Jags, lose both to the Titans, lose to the Pats, Giants, Jets. They beat the Redskins, Bills, 1 Texans. I think they beat the Raiders because I fucking hate the Raiders. And my swing game is the Dolphins, but I see them losing to the Dolphins because Tannehill's knee, it's back, baby.
Yeah. It's going 10-6.
All the way to the top.
I've got the Colts going 3-13. I've got a win against Cincinnati, a win against Buffalo, and they split with Houston. They lose out to the rest of the division and lose to Washington, Philly, New England, Jets, Oakland, Miami, Dallas, and the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the more fun team to talk about, the Texans. 4-12 last year.
Yeah.
I think the main talking point is, will Deshaun Watson be healthy?
Right.
For the entire
That's
season?
a big,
And also if J.J. Watt.
If
also
J.J.
stays
Watt,
healthy.
Yeah. Who I don't believe he's been healthy in the
For a full
last
season.
3 years.
Yeah.
He's got like the Gronk syndrome, right?
Well, Gronk
plays a lot more years, a lot more games than Watt does.
Yeah.
Their head coach is somehow still Bill O'Brien.
I like how you wrote "still."
It's because I don't think they know how to fire a coach. It's like,
the owner's like, Bill, come in here, take a seat. Actually, I don't remember why I brought you in here. Have a good one.
Do you like Ryan Mallett and Brian Hoyer? No? Oops. Sorry, boss. See you later.
Do you want to go over their additions? Their ads?
Yeah. Because I only have schedules. I didn't have much time this week.
Their major addition is Tyrann Mathieu at safety. 1-year deal on like a prove-it contract. I don't know how to say this name. Senio Kelamet, who's a guard. Aaron Colvin, who's going to be a depth cornerback. Zach Fulton, center. And Ciantrell Henderson, offensive tackle. They lost C.J. Fedorowicz, who was actually a promising tight end, but he retired due to, I believe, concussions. Tom Savage went to New Orleans, but I believe he's going to be cut now that they have Teddy Bridgewater.
Savage, man.
They lost.
I'll take him on Dallas.
They lost Marcus. They lost Marcus Gilchrist, who was a safety, to Oakland, and Brian Cushing was released, still trying to find a team.
Or steroids.
Yeah. Well, both.
First.
Their first draft pick this year came in the 3rd round.
Good for them.
So they had.
Is that from the Watson deal?
Yep. They had 3 picks in the 3rd round: Justin Reed, safety; Martinez Rankin, center; and Jordan Akins, a tight end. So
it seems like they're trying to rebuild the offensive line.
Absolutely, they're trying to build the line, protect Deshaun Watson after what happened last year, and.
Well, don't have them practice.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, even though the Watson injury, I believe, happened in non-contact drill, right?
Yeah, he just was going back.
Yeah, so it's a scary injury, ACL. You want to protect that on your star young quarterback, so you want to build up that line.
Like, it wouldn't have bothered me if they spent like all of their draft on offensive linemen.
Yeah,
and blocking running backs.
I'm a Mississippi State fan. Rankin is a really good center who probably should have gone in the 2nd round.
Okay.
So I'm looking for him to stand out for the for the Texans. I think that was a good pick for them.
Okay.
But that might be my homer thing. But
good help for Watson.
Yeah.
And that defense doesn't need that much help.
They've got a really strong defense.
Yeah. He was like back right before the draft. I remember some analysts talking to him saying that he was like he had the what's that called?
Upside.
He had the upside of possibly becoming like a Travis Frederick, like star center.
That's
like,
the talk of him. Yeah.
So
of course, that's upside. That's not what he's going to be, but we'll see what he can be. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I think he's going to be a good center, and I think it was a good pick for them. But the key for the Texans is Watson being healthy and J.J. Watt being healthy.
Yeah.
That's the catalyst.
Yeah.
I hope